my patience. You will tell me the location of the broker.
Lad, you ain't got much of a concept of a deal, do you? You ain't got nothing to offer, stranger. Seen my fix? Hope you're about to offer to rid me of this damn fool.
You cannot dissuade an arbiter from their sovereign-given duty, no matter how much of an irritant you may attempt to be. I came to meet with the information broker for, protectorate business, protectorate reasons. However, I find myself foiled at near every turn. None within the protectorate would defy an arbiter and expect to live. Regrettably, I cannot make the locals see reason without rendering myself unable to learn what I seek.
Even polite entreaties don't see most getting an invite to the broker, and you've been anything but. See, you may have thought you said have an audience, but what you actually said was let him assassinate.
Do I look like a sentinel to you? No, don't answer that. My point is that if I wanted to kill everyone here, we would not be having this obnoxious conversation.
No matter what this fella says, he's not going to convince me to trust him. He's a walking security risk.
You suggest a partnership? An arbiter working closely with a third party is unheard of. But I suppose if I've no choice...
Interesting thought. Occurs to me there might just be something that needs looking into. Within the Golden Ridge locale on Dorado, there's a refugee camp. It's unassuming, quiet-like. Most of the folks there just want to be left alone. They see to the few needs they have by working with the broker, but we ain't heard from them in a fortnight and change. Serves to reason something untoward may have transpired there. You see your way to looking into that, maybe we'll talk. That's between them and Sub Rosa. You in or you out? Great! Take the lap cained with you. I've had enough of his excitability, and so have my customers.
I don't claim to be pleased with the circumstances surrounding this co-investigation, but perhaps we may surprise one another. I'm Arbiter Tristan Rao. When I was an apprentice, yes, but not since. And certainly never with an outsider. I shall meet you at the camp. Let us hope we both arrive there intact.
How are the informant lines treating you?
Was that? Kick the living...
Unfriendly company. They're not.
What's that? Aim for charge!
Try and keep your guts on the inside, Commander.
Sorry, ain't ready yet.
Risk weapons prime. On what target?
Trigger finger's still tight.
Either restore my life or avenge my death.
Locked and loaded. Shots are leaking out, Commander.
I'm alive. Who needs to die?
So you did come. It seems, as an arbiter, I bear a strong stomach. I've some theories on the refugee. Let us. Shame about all this blood. Just polish your moves. I cannot help but feel. Let's hear it. I doubt it factored in there. Did you have anything else? Very well. been saved if they simply hadn't deviated from the paradigm. Salutations. Has your search uncovered anything of remark? As in any further interest is purely... You're certain you've combed the place to your liking? Then let us debrief and see if we can deduce what... Although, have any theories about the automech? My thoughts exactly. How do you believe they were... I may have... I submit that the only remaining puzzle piece... Yes, the refugees must have used it after... Upon learning of this camp's existence, they'd have... Now with that... Leave the machines return, bent on eliminating any stragglers. To arms!
Things take time, Commander. We're here.
Look sharp. It's a fight.
Don't make me bury another agent! Not walking this off. Stand me back up.
You're just not a good look, Commander.
Rejoice for mayhem. This might sting.
That was a hardy engagement. You held your own admirably. These automechs will never be used to perpetrate such heinous acts again. I believe we're at the end of our investigation. I will locate my wretched Sub-Rosa transport and return. Be sure you return to Free Market Station to debrief with me.
You sure do go through ammo, don't you?
Greetings again. Hope that little libations are information. What's your poison?
The encampment had been raised. We managed to...
I'm surprised. I'd be happy to direct you to the broker. There's a malfunctioning lamp in the basement I need someone to take a look at. Here's a keycard to get you down there. You mind? Just trust me and go give it a look.
This. I recruited a protectorate subject direct link from Bastion. Middle of a protectorate holding.
Think I'll congratulate you for risking your hide to recruit one subject?
Loitering
Forgive
ain't my
me for
kind of
withholding
choice.
my applause.
You're jealous of my charms.
Yeah, real jealous. So are the half-dozen AC ad execs I recruited last week. We're all...
Buy from me and live to tell your
Greetings. Libations or information?
The encampment had...
I'd be happy. There's a malfunctioning lamp.
I recruited a protectorate subject direct link from Bastion. Middle of a protectorate holding.
Think I'll congratulate you for risking your hide to recruit one subject? Forgive me for withholding my applause.
You're jealous of my charms.
Yeah, real jealous. So are the half-dozen AC ad execs I recruited last week. We're all just vomits.
Anyone, good that you didn't come here for blood, Arbiter.
If...
I could... Your instincts are right, Arbiter.
And that... Speak to me outside. of the Arbiter typically does not require the assistance of others. We are expected to act as wholly independent entities. But I fully realize that had I not your aid today, my investigation's progress would have stalled and withered. During our investigation, I gauged your trustworthiness and did not find it wanting. What say we travel together? I think you have earned forthrightness. I came to Free Market Station to seek the true killer of my mentor, the Supreme Arbiter. Sub Rosa deals in information, and were thusly my best lead on her killer. They gave me less than I'd hoped, but it was at least a start. Unfortunately, I cannot act truly alone. I have no ship, and no support. My colleagues have accepted that her death was a natural one. Questioning an explanation of that nature is foolish, dangerous even. Nonetheless, the circumstances of her death trouble me. I cannot allow myself to accept the explanation that's been put forth without investigating to the fullest of my abilities. I do not know your allegiance, and accordingly shall not speculate. I knew Sub-Rosa, but I neither trust them. I hold my word in highest regard. Were I to pledge allegiance to you, the pact would be nigh unbreakable, barring some extreme action on your part. I will keep to my convictions in any case, but I understand. What instructions would you have me follow? I should have considered this eventuality. I will listen to your words, and I shall follow your orders. I will not assail enemies of the Protectorate without your consent, though I will not like it. But if my sense of duty outpaces my willingness to comply with an order, or if you attack my brethren unprovoked, our relationship will come to an abrupt end. Excellent. I hope our working relationship is most fruitful. I'm sure we shall discover much together.
Won't argue he seems capable, but let's be mindful where his true allegiance lies. All right, but don't come to me with tears if your new friend decides to judge you the moment I've gone.
Let us be off, Commander.
Commander, I'm glad I managed to intercept you before we left. There's something of utmost importance I wish to discuss. Relax, Commander. You are not under my authority to judge. Though if you were, that phrase alone would have certainly seen you hauled off to mental refreshment. I received a message from a close friend of mine, Virgil. He was my co-protege under the Supreme Arbiter. His message claimed he had information relevant to the Supreme Arbiter's death. He wishes to meet with me at the Vox Relay on Paradise Island. You asked before, and I did not mention it, but with Virgil's message, I now must warn you. Our greatest suspect in the Supreme Arbiter's murder is the Protectorate's consul. Very good. I hope we shall see him at your earliest convenience. I feel this shall most certainly set our investigation into motion. Let us make our way to Paradise Island at once.
there, Arbiter Rao. Though I am here on official business, I would prefer to keep this cordial. The Consul seeks answers related to your recent activities. I approach you openly in the hopes that you will comply with his request and come with me peaceably.
What do you blather about? Delay me and you will pay the price. Not only do I have more pressing business with a colleague, but I do not answer to sentinels or the Consul.
Questions of intent. Now, what shall it be, Arbiter Rao? I sent the message that drew you here. Virgil shall not arrive to aid your decision-making.
Virgil's not coming, you say? Curious. And here I was thinking I was already present.
Virgil! Touting your flair for the dramatic, even now, I see. But I fear our reunion must wait until we've dealt with this pawn of the Consul.
I had not expected a third party, but it is so much the better. I'm afraid you must come with me as well, Arbiter Montag.
A sentinel demanding anything of me? What madness! Neither Tristan nor I shall accompany you anywhere. Any attempts to force us shall be met with violent reprisal.
I'm somewhat embarrassed to acknowledge that, in my haste to see Virgil, I seem to have led us into a trap. Though ironically, it appears Virgil has been caught as well.
This fool impersonated my credentials, triggering a system alert that led me here. A lowly deception, even for one of the Consul's own.
It was a necessary deception, and one not undertaken lightly. Its aim was to draw your colleague here without bloodshed, for I know he would not have arrived at my request.
Your explanation does not pull my heartstrings, Sentinel. Yet you at least had the sense not to assail us outright. Surrender, and perhaps you may yet live.
You may not believe me, but I have much admiration for the work you and Arbiter Montag have done for the Protectorate. I've no wish to fight. Enough loyal subjects have died in this war. Come willingly and peaceably, I beseech you. Both Arbiter Rao and Arbiter Montag were explicitly requested to return to Praetor by the Consul, alongside all other arbiters some months ago. Refusal without reason is treasonous.
And I'm sure that if we went, we would have been returned whole, neither interrogated nor mentally refreshed. As if your master's nefarious agenda would allow that.
I've no inkling of what you speak. My only master is the Protectorate. My only agenda, the return of peace throughout Arcadia.
Very well. But be warned, I'm not exactly trained in the art of improvisation. We'll need a very good reason for my not answering the Consul's summons.
You don't look like a scientist.
It's true. I tested it. Then I used my facial hair to kill an Auntie's Choice officer. It was grisly.
I see. It would appear I misjudged this situation after all. I must reinterpret my orders. Accosting you illegally and the subsequent punishment would be mortifying.
So he's chosen not to attack, but the situation has not changed. We spare him. His master gains another tool to cover up the Supreme Arbiter's death.
What are you talking about? I do not seek to hide the Supreme Arbiter's death. I seek to find her killer. Such was next on my list of duties after I apprehended you.
No. My earlier reluctance to kill this Sentinel does not denote trust. There's no guarantee he wouldn't attempt to arrest us at a later point.
This is all clearly a tactic on the Consul's behalf. By sending out his agents, he seeks to deflect suspicion from himself. That is, if our compatriot here speaks true.
What must you think of me, or my fellow Sentinels, that you'd even suggest I'd lie to arbiters? I'm not the one positing scurrilous accusations about our beloved Consul. But you needn't take me at my word. My next assignment was to investigate the Oculus collating post. A hidden room there may contain information pertinent to the investigation. I cannot speak to its purpose, only that it is strange and worthy of investigation.
Or it is yet another falsity intended to draw us close before snapping our necks.
It's a risk worth taking. I can endure whatever the Consul sends my way, and if there is a minuscule chance that this Sentinel speaks true, we must investigate.
I'm pleased to be of service, in some manner or another. Protectorate subjects should aid one another. If you had not interrupted me, I would have committed a terrible injustice upon my brethren. If I am to be punished for my failing, I will suffer the consequences head high. I will take my leave of the lot of you, and in peace. It is my sincere hope that circumstances are as you claim, lest we be forced to meet again.
I shall follow him out, just to certify he intends to act as he speaks. That's done with. He left peaceably, as he said, though I have my doubts for how long.
That was some impressively savvy improvisation before, Commander. Without you, circumstances would have certainly devolved into a battle to the death.
I'll spare you my doubts for the umpteenth time, Tristan. I just hope the risk is worthwhile.
I appreciate your caution, but it is quite unnecessary. My comrade and I will look into Oculus collating post. Let us do just that. I regret we've not had more time to talk, Virgil. It has been ages.
Worry not. I'm certain we'll have plenty of time to converse when you've finished your investigation. I have several leads of my own to pursue, as a matter of fact. Until our paths cross again, my friend.
I recall this place. These stations have been automated since my day, though this one has certainly accrued dust. Odd that it would be in a state of lockdown. I have a general override that should allow us entry, but anything specific to local systems, including security systems, may be beyond me. Until places, these security measures should not be operational. The station seems to be on reserve power. We'd best tread carefully.
Well, no one is here, lying in ambush.
Perhaps some stray
Systemic error activated the entryway defenses.
We'd best first report to security ops. Lift this lockdown. From there, we can set about reactivating the station's primary power, which will allow us to explore unhindered. Is that a footprint in the dust? This station shouldn't have received visitors in years. Be on guard. Someone else may be here. My passcode shall not work on this terminal. Unlocking it may be a creative endeavor. Lifting the lockdown. The reactor activation circuits shall likely be dysfunctional. It's a known issue with these old stations. Let me look. Corroded transistors, dust in the actuator. Did a sprat gnaw on this? Sweet sovereign, what a mess. There. I think I have it. Let us hope my override does not trigger any security alerts. Good. This should avail us of a much simpler search. Let us return to the central room once more and see if anything seems out of place. I shall not stay your execution. Upon them. Be wary for anything that may be a clue as to the hidden room's location. I cannot say I have had to search for a hidden switch in a protectorate holding before. Keep watch. It could be rather small and well hidden.
Yeah.
Ah, I think I've spotted it. Look there at the valve beside the sickly yellow pipe.
Yeah.
There behind the room's main filter air.
I'm certain of
Passcode is limber. No. Let's try amulet. No. Wingtip. No. Sovereign's gavel. I should remember this. Damn it.
Oh! Wait. Oh, no.
Stay whatever fool words you ready in your defense, for they shall avail you not. I accuse you of trespassing upon the private domain of the Sovereign. For these crimes... Wait, I know you. Luther Okada? What in blazes are you doing here? And why do you wear a Sub Rosa uniform?
Because I work for Sub Rosa? More than that, I don't think I can say, Cadet Rao. Mostly because I'm not supposed to, but also because I can't remember.
Okada is, or was, a petty troublemaker, though a crafty one. As cadets, Virgil and I apprehended him often. Sometimes Virgil let him go, but he usually went to mental refreshment.
Often enough to know the technicians by name. Until I forgot them again.
This truly is no ploy. But mental refreshment is supposed to return wayward subjects to the proper path, not cause... whatever this is. Despite his faults, the Okada I knew was ultimately benign. But the fact remains that he now trespasses in a secure facility. Duty dictates that I must execute him. That's a wise path. One that shall give me time to contemplate what must be done.
An arbiter used the word execute in the last few seconds, yet I remain alive? Didn't think that was possible. I was sent here to do a specific job, but some of the details are hazy. Gives me conniptions. I was hired by an anonymous third party. They provided me with the station's location and credentials to bypass its defenses. May have tripped a few on my way here. Can't recall. I was told the station was abandoned, which it clearly isn't, and to break into this terminal and delete the information on it. That is all I know. Well, I'm surprised too. This used to be second nature. Now I'm nothing.
Ignorance does not excuse criminal action. Even if you did not know the severity of this infiltration, it remains a deadly serious infraction.
He and the other one must have put me away close to 12 times each. I used to be something of a ne'er-do-well.
Ne'er-do-well is a polite term. He was a repeat malefactor. I believe last time we met, he'd vandalized a janitorial automech in an attempt to make it spew profanity.
I got 18 months of hard labor for that. Served me right.
As much as I'd prefer not to admit it, you may be right. Whoever hired him must not have known about his addled mind. They were moving quickly, desperately.
I didn't used to be like this. I can still sneak with the best of them. Not being able to remember doesn't make me any worse as an agent. It doesn't.
Any of my fellow arbiters would have killed you before this conversation began. But I can't decide whether to disdain or pity you. I don't know that I can. He is a trespasser. His slipping mind matters not. You have my trust, but if I am to remain loyal to my morals, I must be convinced. I am familiar with the concept, but in the Protectorate, intent matters little. Manslaughter still results in death. Sedition can happen unconsciously, just as it may consciously. There is a difference. A murderer's family is imprisoned, whereas they are not in the case of incidental death. But I do suppose the perpetrator's punishment does not change. Though this is hardly the place for a discussion about Protectorate law, I do at least see your point. My duty dictates it. Killing Okada may not affect the one who hired him, but his trespass is an indelible fact. He should not be here. That doesn't mean anything. An arbiter cannot trespass. And even if I could, I still act with the Protectorate's best interests in mind, not out of some base self-interest. Were the situation different, perhaps I could look the other way. But Okada has clearly defected, and is thus not afforded such a luxury. It is fortunate you have gained my trust, for I would not bend to one who had not. Justice must serve a purpose. Okada may live, and I hope we shan't regret it. Begone. You've been granted your final stay of execution. Should our paths ever cross again, you know what will occur.
I didn't think this would happen. Thank you, Cadet Rao. My apologies for all the strife I caused over the years. And you. Without you, I would have been reduced to my composite parts. Here, take these. I suppose you'll have more use for them than I, in my present state.
Allowing a Sub Rosa agent to leave with his life in the heart of a Protectorate station. We may have to speak on this further. But let us see what we came here for first. The hint pertaining to the passcode on that terminal, I believe I know the answer. It is contained in a phrase the Supreme Arbiter drilled into our heads for many years. Our work at the refugee camp did not slake your investigative hunger? I doubt you'll be able to surmise it exactly, but come even close, and I shall be impressed. For myself, the Supreme Arbiter, and Virgil especially, if judgment is the Arbiter's gavel, what is the Arbiter's scalpel? Ah, you've got the spirit exactly, if not the word itself. Very nice. An Arbiter's gavel is judgment, and an Arbiter's scalpel is analysis. Try entering that. From that terminal, it sounds as if the Supreme Arbiter had some sort of business with the Consul. To what end, I wonder? The tone of her response seemed relaxed, but I do not believe she would have met with the Consul unless she had no other choice. And that feckless agent. I don't understand his aim or who he would be working for. Only the Consul. But the Protectorate does not ally itself with Sub Rosa. I couldn't imagine the Consul pinning his duties on someone so clearly out of sorts as our recently departed friend. Besides, he has his own agents. Well, at least we found what we needed on the Supreme Arbiter's terminal. I only hope whatever awaits us at Central Control is less tumultuous. As for Okada, I'm not sure what to think. My decision to allow him to go free was at odds with all I have been taught. He was a traitor and should have died. Yet, I cannot help but feel strangely justified. But he was acting against the Protectorate, even if he didn't know it. How can I act as an arbiter of justice if I allow a traitor a reprieve? To me, there cannot be. That is, there isn't. That's not possible, and I cannot afford to think of it as such. Altogether, I think visiting this station was fruitful for my ultimate task. Hopefully, we'll grow ever closer to discovering the Supreme Arbiter's true killer. And, circumstances aside, I appreciate your accompanying me here, Commander. It means much. Now let us return to the incognito and plan out our next steps.
It would appear our next stop is Praetor, specifically Central Control. I look forward to traveling there, once you've sufficiently prepared. Excellent. I look forward to it. Let us make our way to Central Control forthwith.
Smells like paint and agitated dust. Renovations, I surmise. That elevator over there goes to the Supreme Arbiter's old office. I hope the technicians have kept it in working order. I believe what we need is on that terminal. I'll see if I can find my way in.
Yeah.
The terminal's locked, which is no surprise. See if you can find some method to bypass its passcode. Did you hear that? I think something may have unlocked. You must finish it.
Consul Thoreau, I'm sure you're surprised to be receiving this message, and thus I can assume you already know my intent. Even considering aligning myself against the Sovereign is like sticking my hand in boiling oil. Yet my dead charges spur me forward. 10 scores of Arcadia's finest, at least 10 scores, died in defense of Golden Ridge. And does the region lie in our control? No. We fled like sprats, all at Varric's behest. I shall lower myself to work with you, Consul. I will help you uphold your plan to... Hold... What in blazes? How long have you been standing there? What did you hear?
I cannot believe what I heard. I cannot. Yes, I'm fine, because I think I understand what was actually happening. My mentor hated the Consul and was deeply devoted to the Sovereign. She'd never speak thus, unless she was trying to lure the consul into a trap.
Those unable to accept the truth do often invent their own.
What I'm proposing is eminently plausible. It may be beyond you to see her machinations, but it's obvious to me that this was merely an intricate play. It's all that makes sense. It's not obvious to me. You didn't know her. Wait, do you hear that?
Arbiter Rao, I finally got you. Submit quietly to the Protectorate's justice for your manifold transgressions.
Are you insane? Who are you? And on whose authority do you claim to judge me?
My name is Junior Arbiter Mayhall, and I operate on Arbiter Mandate, as you did once. Now, no questions. This is already going to be difficult enough.
It's logical. The Sentinels have all but taken over central control. It stands to reason the few Arbiters still trained here would only be Sentinels in armored regalia.
I cannot deny that central control has changed, but... what am I saying? I need not defend myself from the likes of you.
Enough! This has been an unpleasant day and my patience is gone. Your accusations are baseless, and accosting a higher-ranked Arbiter is grounds for arbitration.
They're far from baseless. You stand accused of abandoning your post, of infiltrating Protectorate facilities with opaque aims, and of hampering the Protectorate war effort. There's no discussion to be had with criminals. I needed to see firsthand that Arbiter Rao had abandoned his station. He has, and must meet my judgment.
These accusations of yours are slander. If you believe false bravado shall save you from my wrath, you're sorely mistaken. At Oculus, and again at the Vox, you showed me that the law may be interpreted. Clemency can be granted where before it would be unthinkable. Here my sense of duty clamors to be answered. But as much as it surprises me to admit it, I think you're correct. To this recruit, I've diverged from the path of righteousness. Slaying her for sincerely trying to do what is right would be a farce of justice. I would not, but I know the reality of swaying an Arbiter from their chosen path. It's likely this situation may devolve into violence regardless.
What is this insanity? I would never imagine an Arbiter balking from their chosen course. I had hoped Arbiter Rao would come to his senses, but obviously to no avail. I may not wish to judge him. I may not understand what has come over him. It is of no consequence. His crimes against the Protectorate are all that matters.
He was simply doing his duty, just as you or I must every day. Killing him would have been wrong, even though attempting to arrest me was a criminal act.
That's even worse than I thought. You chose not to do your duty, and expect telling me so would soften my decision to judge you?
The Supreme Arbiter taught me to follow my own sense of justice, and I have. Use your mind. Think about what I did, what you intend to do. Is this moral? Is this right?
But it is of no consequence. I must... Architect's mercy. I'm just not sure.
We don't know that for certain, but to an onlooker, without our knowledge, it could seem that way. And such presumed traitorousness would be very confusing.
Even the Supreme Arbiter has struggled with this? That doesn't seem possible. But I suppose there's no way to ask her now. I shall trust your words. Consider my hand stayed. I can see that judging Tristan would only rob the Protectorate of another of its servants. It seems I must reflect on this matter.
It would appear we're in agreement. Neither of us shall raise a hand against the other. I'm pleased.
Wasn't expecting such a mature resolution from our little Arbiter. I'm impressed. And not even in a backhanded compliment sort of way.
So, what course of action do we take now?
It's important for an arbiter to use their forebrain. Next time you encounter something as strange as a loyal arbiter diverging from the path of righteousness, investigate. You may find more questions than answers. But deciphering them and interpreting justice as best we can is how we might serve Arcadia.
Uphold justice in my way. I'll attempt to remember that, Arbiter Rao. Thank you.
Glory to the Protectorate, Junior Arbiter. Make me proud. I'm pleased we were able to resolve that altercation peaceably. Robbing Arcadia of an enthusiastic recruit would have given me little joy.
Appreciate you using your forebrain for a change.
You know, I'd even venture to say she reminded me just a little of myself as a lad. All this excitement did not make me forget the confession on the Supreme Arbiter's terminal. I have to bring it to Virgil. Together, we can discover exactly what transpired. Have you lived all your life within the Protectorate? No. What do you know about what makes an Arbiter? I refuse to question the Supreme Arbiter, just as I refuse to cast every belief I hold dear into the mud. Push me no more. Virgil will know what to make of this. Together we'll figure out what to do. I'll message him when we return to the ship. Hopefully he shall respond. Quickly.
Commander, we still have yet to find the Supreme Arbiter's murderer. If we do not do so before proceeding to Horizon Point, they may forever escape my justice. Excellent. I hope we shall set off at our earliest convenience. Commander, I have news. I finally heard back from Virgil. His message was suitably vague. I suspect he fears the Consul's eyes scanning his message, but I believe it to refer to the Arbiter training facility located on Paradise Island. Bringing our findings to Virgil will hopefully allow us to deduce something from all that we found. I only hope it dispels some of the muddiness we've encountered so far. Further complications would be most disagreeable.
silent as a tomb.
I hope we aren't too late.
If Virgil's not about it,
He's like to
be in the training grounds depths. There's a lift that will take us lower, located behind the door next to those stairs.
Tristan, it's a relief to see a friendly face.
Do come up.
Virgil! Oh, thank the architect I found you intact. We visited the Supreme Arbiter's office in Central Control and found something impossible.
Impossible? Why is it impossible? So that you may claim ignorance as to the truth of what you've uncovered? Fine. If you're still so thick-skulled, Tristan, then I can see I've no choice but to confess. Hold. Do you hear movement?
Attention, Arbiter Virgil Montag. Under the jurisdiction of the Consul, we stand to bring you low. Do not resist.
Damnation! I knew the Sentinels were looking for me, but I did not expect they would come to this place. We have no choice but to fight. I can operate our turrets from this location, but you must engage the Sentinels head-on to prevent our being overwhelmed. Go now!
Arbiter Montag, lay down your arms. Surrender and die. Those fools were but an expeditionary force. I've no doubt the bulk of their number remains on the surface. I shall take an alternate path to prepare a surprise for our would-be assailants. Then I shall flank them as you engage them.
Hold! You were beginning to say something before we were ambushed. I would care to hear it.
We cannot have this conversation until we are safe. Engage those on the surface and I shall join you. Go now.
Virgil, enough! Our being at odds with the Council is one thing, but that was a small army! What have you done?
You already know whether you're willing to admit it or not. Do you sincerely have a need for me to spell it out before you'll face the truth? Very well then. Tristan, you stand before the murderer of the Supreme Arbiter.
I don't believe this. The Council must have captured you and sent you to mental refreshment. It's the only...
Open your eyes, Rao. Those Sentinels were here with due cause. The elimination of a murderer. The Supreme Arbiter was planning to send a message in her final moments, pledging allegiance to the Consul. Who do you think bore witness to those final moments? I did what I thought was just.
No. You lied to me?
I had to. I knew that if you learned what had transpired, why I did what I did, it would destroy you.
Would it? Or were you just trying to save yourself from my wrath?
With the demands this war has made on us all, I'd not seen our mentor for some time. My visit was meant to be a surprise. Unfortunately, it was. I overheard her decision to align herself with the Consul before she realized I was there. This admission, I had no choice but to act.
But there was a choice. Why didn't you come to me? Together we could have come up with something. Some other course of action.
Because I didn't want you to know. I never wanted you to learn the truth because I feared you'd lose your faith. No. Sentinel Peralt's remarks were the first I'd heard of any secret room. I feared what you might learn there, so I scrambled to find an agent who might locate the room before you. I only had one contact who I knew may be able to do the job. Obviously, he did not succeed. I was pleased to learn that my decision did not result in his death, at the very least. That is news to me. A junior arbiter judging Tristan. I can't imagine you let that stand.
Killing one of Arcadia's future arbiters over a singular breach of rank would have been most tragic, but this is not the matter we're here to discuss.
How dare you! I would have rather done anything else. But the explicit reason that I had to act was out of my loyalty. The Supreme Arbiter did more than mentor us. She all but raised us as her own. There is not a step we took that she did not watch. A fact we know that she did not teach. And I killed her. As a traitor. Damn you. Damn you 1,000 times. How can I not bear remorse for the slaying of one I considered my own kin? No matter what I do, I find myself reliving that moment whenever I close my eyes. Her sin was unforgivable to the Protectorate, but No. The situation was a nightmare. Any action would have been the wrong one. I only wonder if the path I took was worth it.
I cannot believe what I am hearing. You know that I have to judge you. There's no other choice available to me. You're right. You're right. I can't let emotion get the better of me. This is not the first time we've encountered the paradoxical nature of Protectorate law. Each time we did, you convinced me to stay my hand, and I do not regret those I spared. Our prior conclusions inform my present feelings. I theoretically understand what Virgil did, for there was no proper decision he could make. But I cannot view this objectively. Virgil killed our mentor. It's madness. I cannot simply let that stand. Can I? You mistake my aim for one of vengeance. I still care deeply for Virgil. I do not blame him. But I must do what is just. Each encounter we have experienced together has left me torn. And this circumstance is more extreme than all others combined. But the law is clear on this. It is explicitly illegal for an inferior to execute their superior. The issue must be accelerated to a higher authority. But is addressing traitorism not the utmost priority of any arbiter? Is not the betrayal of everything we stand for more significant than a breach of protocol? I wish to argue with you, with myself, with Virgil, with the Supreme Arbiter. This madness should never have come to pass. But it has. And I must contend with that. I cannot bring myself to execute my sworn brother. I fear it may be too late for that. I have made my decision, and I shall stand by it, no matter how torn I may be. I know not what to make of the Supreme Arbiter's betrayal. I'll have to ruminate on it for some time. But that aside, I forgive you, Virgil. You are spared.
Good on you, Rao. Ain't healthy to let the hammer solve all your problems.
Would that I could forgive myself. I shall have to live with what I have done in the name of the Protectorate.
Virgil, you should take comfort in doing what was right. The Supreme Arbiter was a traitor. I believe her execution was just. And you should as well.
Just in the eyes of the Protectorate. But we've forever lost our mentor, our friend. And, I might add, if the Protectorate had its way, you or I would presently lie dead as well. How can I see the morality in a system that demands brothers, guardians, friends kill one another in its name?
Stop! This is already near too much to accept. I refuse to be browbeaten on top of everything else. Allow me to reach my own conclusions.
1,000 words of thanks for meeting me here, Tristan. I know not what the future holds for us, but for the time being I must make myself scarce. Though, before I go, a parting gift. May Tristan make use of it better than I.
Go with the Sovereign's blessing, brother. And be careful. If you survive today only to be brought low by an agent of the Consul at a later point, I shall be most annoyed. Commander, this has all been draining. I need time to process what we've learned today. What I've done. Later, I hope we might discuss it.
Commander, I've had some time to process what transpired with Virgil. Despite the manner of what Virgil has done, I cannot help but be glad I did not need to slay him. I can only hope he does not run afoul of further sentinels. I still have much doubt about my path, but I don't believe Protectorate law is as ironclad as I once thought. Having good intentions does not spare you. Doing what you think is right does not spare you. This cannot be justice. Yet what can I do? More than 100 years of Protectorate society cannot be changed by a lone body. Can it? No. That is a step too far. Despite its flaws, I still believe in the Protectorate, if only the central idea behind its founding. On any other day, your assertion would be an offense meriting extreme recompense. But for now, I will refuse to entertain it. Once Arcadia is no longer bathed in fire and blood, I will look upon this path again to see if it is tenable, which I have no doubt it shall be. I shall remain with the Protectorate, interpreting its laws through a moral instead of a punitive lens. Innocent until proven guilty is a novel concept, but it is worth a try. A drunken, disorderly subject once struck my faceplate with an electrical pitchball stick, resulting in a concussion. My head pounds worse now, but my heart feels lighter. When we began traveling together, I was not sure what to make of you. But your input throughout our time together has been invaluable. I deeply appreciate your hand in this investigation, Commander, and in entertaining my incertitude. Let us move forth to free Arcadia from injustice.